Talk shoes. Recorded live.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Müvment Boxing Podcast. I am Twan the Divine Liberty of HoopJab.com and Rocky Mountain Boxing. Today, we got our co-host on today. We a little bit light. We got half of the Truth and Facts About Boxing with Bernard on the show. And we also got our boy 2K the Guy from the Guys of Boxing Talk on. What's good with y'all?
What's good?
All right, we got a lot of interesting topics to go into today. It's been a pretty busy week news-wise, and also we got a couple of good fights to go over, so we go ahead and get this show started, man. We're going to start off with the reviews of this past weekend's fights on Friday night. We had a card on what I believe it was Spike or Bounce TV, right?
Yep.
Okay, we had an undercard, Rau'shee Warren taking on Zhanat Zhakiyanov in the undercard, defending his he was defending his bantamweight title. He lost it by decision. Pretty odd scores, I thought, but
yes.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into that, man. Let's go ahead and start the review on that. First off, man, that was a pretty interesting fight, with Rau'shee dominating the way he did the first couple rounds. I thought it was going to go, he was going to end it early the way the first round went. But, ZZ did his thing and willed his way back to victory, so you can't knock the boy. But anyway, what y'all think of the decision and the fight in general? I'll start off with 2K with his breakdown.
Well, it's like you said, man. He started out fast. That first knockdown, I think he landed a sneaky-ass left hook on the inside that hurt him. Then he finished him up with a right hook that dropped him. The second knockdown, it was a check right hook that dropped him immediately after getting knocked down the first time. After that, it was all, I'm going to try to get his name right, Zhakiyanov. Zhanat Zhakiyanov. It was all Zhakiyanov after that, man. Like, pretty much, I thought the scorecards were wide. I had Zhakiyanov winning by 2 points. 116, 110 was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I thought 115, 111 was ridiculous when I heard that. You know what I'm saying? But the tell of the fight was Rau'shee Warren does not have the IQ. Dude, you did well when you kept the fight in the middle of the ring, when you were dictating the pace, when you had Zhakiyanov on his back foot. That's when you did well. When you didn't do well was when you were shooting a lazy jab while backing up with your back continuously on the ropes. That's when you did terrible. I don't know what it is about these fucking Cobbs, man. You got Provodnikov, you got Shafarkov, now you got Zhakiyanov, whatever his fucking name is. You got that cat now. They apply relentless pressure, man. These fucking obs, man. But
yeah, that kind of energy right there, man. That's a lot of stamina right there to do that for 12 rounds, and especially after coming down from 2 knockdowns.
Exactly, but I've never been really high on Rau'shee Warren, man. I thought the first fight against Juan Carlos Payano was the right decision. I thought the second fight was the wrong decision. I thought he could have easily lost that fight as well. So in my book, he's got 3 L's instead of 2, and he probably shouldn't have been champion. But going back to the amateurs, you got a guy that he went to the Olympics 17 fucking times and lost in the first round all 17 fucking times. That tells you something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to shit on the fact that a nigga went to the Olympics. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's good that every 4 years he would always, pick his heart up off the canvas and do well enough in the amateurs to make it to the Olympic team again. I think he did it 3 times. But as soon as he gets there, he loses in the first round every single fucking time. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you right there that he really doesn't have the mental capability. He doesn't have the capabilities of grasping the mental aspect of the game. And we've seen that in this fucking fight, man. I was yelling at the TV like, dog, why are you throwing that lazy-ass jab while you're backing up and going and putting yourself up against the ropes? Then sometimes he would spin off, but majority of the time, if he did spin off, he would continue doing the same thing and end up with his back on the ropes on the other side of the fucking ring. And I'm like, dog. And then on top of that, he kept his goddamn guard low. He never put his guard high at any point in the fight, even when he was on the ropes. I think it was round 10 or 9. I can't remember. Zhakiyanov had him up against the ropes, and he's landing hook after hook. Motherfucker's head just swinging back and forth like a fucking bobblehead. I'm like, nigga, put your gloves up. Why are you letting them hit you like that? You know what I'm saying? And then he stayed on the ropes just taking shots. I'm like, nah, man, this dude's done, man. He's done. He's about to lose his fight. So there's a lot that Rau'shee Warren has to work on, especially when you're a guy with no power. You elect to fight from the outside. Rule number 1, when you have that style, you have to keep your back off the ropes. You have to keep the fight in the middle of the ring, and you have to punch with combination punches at all times. And one of the biggest training things that you need to work on is stamina. You can't get tired. Rau'shee Warren got tired late in the fight, and that's where we actually seen Zhakiyanov actually hitting him with all them shots flush. So it was a good run by Zhakiyanov. Congratulations to him being the new champion at bantamweight. Rau'shee, man, I don't know where he goes from here. Pressure fighters are going to be his kryptonite, much like their Adrian Broner's kryptonite. So
yeah, what is it about them Cincinnati cats, man, and Stafford? Well,
we can say the Ohio cats, but we haven't seen the Ohio cats. I want to piggyback off what 2K said about the jab. I thought he totally abandoned the jab. He did
eventually, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So when your corner is telling you to use the jab, he was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try to slug it out. But, again, he didn't have no stamina. And if you notice, he was the smaller fighter in this fight. He was the shorter, and he had the Zhanat, whatever his name is, or ZZ had the height and the reach advantage. What Warren should have done was come in, fold him on the inside, hit him with a jab, get a combination off since you do have the speed, and get right back off. Stick to the jab, and he should have kept using the jab. Because he's a pressure fighter, that would have been the best. That's the best weapon to use. A jab to the head, a jab to the body. A jab to the head, jab to the body. Take the jab to the body. Come over with a straight left. Do something totally different, man. I mean, I totally agree with 2K's assessment. His guard was down. I was never impressed with Warren when I saw him fight in Chicago. I mean, I think he lost this fight. For him to sit there and say at the end that he felt that he won that fight, no, he didn't. He lost him. And I don't know, 2K, maybe I'm wrong. I know it was the third round when ZZ changed it up where he hit him twice.
And he knocked him down, and they called it a slip. Yep.
I thought that was a push. I saw that as a push. It was a push. It was a push.
No, hold up, Bernard. He did push him. You're right. I agree with that. But dude
Bernard Hopkins.
He had no exactly. Yo, that nigga had no legs, fam. Like he was trying to walk forward. That nigga was stumbling. And what's his name barely even pushed him. He just used his offhand to move him out the way, and that nigga fell to the canvas, man. That right hook where he was up against the ropes.
Yeah.
Hurt him.
No. But here's the problem with that, though, right? How many times did Warren fall in that fight that I kept saying, like, hold on. He don't have no legs, or he just drained. I'm like, I know in the 12th round, that was a knockdown, in my opinion. That should have been called a knockdown. But it didn't. A couple of other ones when he fell, he didn't get. One was a push because ZZ did push him to the ground. I didn't think he was going to top up with putting the pressure on his neck. But other than that, I totally agree with 2K's assessment. I definitely didn't agree with the score that the judges had. It was a closer fight than what it was because of the first 2 knockdowns in the first round. Other than that, I just say with Warren, if Warren wants, what he needs to do is, from this point forward, he needs to go back to the training camp, utilize his jab, maybe learn how to utilize that jab and learn how to deal with a pressure fighter.
Well,
maybe get him a decent contender to fight, and then probably go back and fight for his title.
Well, what he needs to learn how to do is, you're right, he shouldn't abandon the jab, but even with a jab, with the power that Rau'shee Warren has, he's not going to keep anybody off of him, dog. What he needs to learn how to do.
Yeah, but he knocked the dude down twice. I mean,
know.
that
Hold on.
about him in this fight.
No. That ain't got nothing to do with a jab, Twan. You got to
know.
He knocked the dude down because he had the dude up against the ropes and he was applying pressure. And that's what I'm getting ready to say. In order for Rau'shee Warren to keep pressure fighters off of him, he's got to learn how to apply pressure to them and keep them on their back foot and keep the fight in the middle of the ring. That's what he did to ZZ when he knocked him down. He had control of the pace of the fight. Think about it. When he knocked ZZ down, what was behind Rau'shee Warren? The entire fucking ring.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he has to do. And in order to do that, you have to sit down on a jab, which is not what he was doing. And his jab in this fight, he's jabbing while he's moving back. You have no fucking leverage on that. And on top of that, nigga, even when you sitting down, you ain't got no power. So that shit probably felt like my son hitting me in my face. You see what I'm saying? That's why he needs to learn how to sit down on his jab and learn how to throw combinations and keep the fight in the middle of the ring. When he did actually do that in this fight, that's when he was successful. But he doesn't have the IQ to keep it going whenever he was getting beat up, and that's exactly what was happening. It wasn't that ZZ was whooping his ass. It was ZZ was beating him up, meaning he was out muscling him.
He was
real
physical. He was getting physical.
Much like how Orlando Salido was to Lomachenko in their first fight. That's how ZZ was with fucking Rau'shee. And Rau'shee had no answer to the physicality, man. That's the problem. He needs to learn how to do that. And how you do that is with a fighter with no power, you fucking sit down on your jabs and you keep the fight in the middle of the ring with combination punching and angles. That's what the fuck he needs to do.
I want to ask a question before you go to the next topic, Twan.
How are you gonna be the one asking questions, Bernard?
Well, because hey, just real quick, bro. I'll get we talked about this on our show. The trainers are getting a lot of blame for what Rau'shee Warren did in that ring. Should Mike Stafford or Barry Hunter get the blame for him losing when he's the one that didn't listen to the instructions that he was told to do?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think the trainers should get the blame at all, especially when they're giving them proper instructions. But you got to think this is like a bad habit with, like I said, the Cincinnati fighters that are trained by Stafford. They don't handle pressure fighters well. Their output seems to be the same, pretty minimal. I mean, they're efficient fighters, that is a habit of training. So, I mean, where do you put the blame on? You got to put the blame on both of them, I think, preparation-wise and on the fighter, I'll let TK get his thoughts out on that as well.
Oh, no, I agree with you 100%. Because I know we were going to have the same answer. So I was going to let you handle that, man. Yeah, that's, in a nutshell, man, it's really both guys' fault. There's some things that I didn't agree with that Barry Hunter was saying. And that was he was talking about throwing hooks to his body. While I agree that he needed to attack the body, he didn't follow up on that by saying, and make sure you throw hooks to the body and you turn them. He didn't say that. He just said, go to the body, throw the hooks to the body. No, that's not the reason why he's losing. The reason why he's losing is because he keeps backing up to the fucking ropes. Tell him to quit doing that.
Straight line. Yeah,
exactly. There's things Barry Hunter did not address in that fight, and I blame him for that.
And I mean, I don't know, Barry Hunter is starting. I mean, I was actually up on Barry Hunter as a trainer. I actually like the dude. I think he's a good trainer, but just you see certain things in his fighters sometimes. Even Lamont Peterson, King Pete, he's had some outings where you're like, what the fuck is going on in there?
I think. Well, I don't want to. Well, we can go down.
I was actually going to ask this first. Do you think it's a possibility that splitting time between two different camps? You know how him and Adrian Broner both usually split times between Stafford and Barry Hunter. Going back and forth between Cincinnati and DC. Do you think that has any kind of factor in bearing on what's going on? Okay.
I don't think so, because Matt Stafford is Adrian Broner's head trainer, and Barry Hunter is Rau'shee Warren's head trainer. So I don't think so.
Okay, because I know they both usually go back and forth between Cincy and DC, especially during training camps, from what I've heard in the past at least.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, we'll go ahead and kick it into the main event, man. My boy Bunny Easter, Robert Easter Jr., he did his thing, won by unanimous decision against the Phillies. He started off kind of sluggish, but he definitely closed out a little bit better. He picked up the pace. I'll go ahead and pass it off to TK again on this one to get his analysis, what he saw, what he didn't like.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take it, bro.
The main thing I didn't like was he was doing a lot of waiting from the outside. He was a little flat-footed in this fight. I didn't see a lot of movement the way that I wanted to. Also, he smothered his punches a lot in this fight, man, and that was one of my biggest knocks on him before he got in the ring with Richard Comey. I was saying, man, he has a problem with getting on the inside, abandoning his height and his reach, and smothering his punches when he wants to get guys out of there. And he did that a lot. He would have Cruz up against the ropes, and he would – it was funny because Cruz is up against the ropes already, and you see Easter move in, and he's throwing punches, and then he's pushing them. And I'm like, nigga, he's already up against the ropes. You can't push him any further. You need to back your ass up and then punch. Like, you're trying to push him to create space, but you can't create the space that you want because you're too close. But there's that, and then, I would have liked him to throw that straight right hand more early on in the fight. He did it later in the fight, and that's what contributed to all three of those knockdowns.
Me and Tavon were actually talking about this during the fight. We were, in his group, talking about the fight while it was going on. I was like, man, this dude he's like the lightweight Tommy Hearns. I just wish he would throw that fucking straight right down the pipe more.
Yeah.
He finally did it, and he knocked his ass, clocked him silly, man. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. I don't know why he don't trust that right. Something about it. He does not trust. I don't know if it's because he leaves himself in a vulnerable position because Cruz was able to tee off on him a couple times and counter him. So I don't know if it's a matter of that.
He had the reach. That's what I didn't understand. And the only reason why he was getting countered is because he was planted. He wasn't moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're throwing a shot and don't move, then and you miss your shot, then that leaves you wide open. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have the mindset of, let me throw this shot and move laterally right after that. He doesn't have that mindset.
Yeah,
and that's
he's
mainly
another
because
one that backs up in straight lines that I didn't like seeing him do that either.
He's trying to knock his opponents out, man, early on. I mean, he's knocked out guys that, at Cruz's caliber plenty of times, early in his career. He's getting first-round knockouts like crazy. So that's his mindset going in there, but I don't think that's the right way to fight when you get at the higher level in your division and so on. But I'm not as critical as a lot of other people, man. Like, I'd actually saw a comment. I didn't watch this fight live. I saw it on YouTube, and one of the comments I seen was, Robert Easter is not an A-level fighter at this time, and he's not disciplined enough. He's going to get beaten by a B-level class fighter. I mean, dude was going in on him, and I'm thinking, like, it wasn't that bad of a performance. There was just things that he didn't do early on that he now one that he needed to do more of. I mean, while I agree he's not an A-level fighter right now, he's still not a bum. The dude was talking like he was a bum. It's asinine, man. It was a good win for him.
All right. Bia, what was your take on this fight and Easter's performance?
Well, I gotta agree with some of 2K's assessment on this fight. I kind of felt that he should have got him out of there at least in the mid rounds. That was my take on it. I think Cruz had no business being in there in the ring. What I mean by that is he's not. You pretty much on the scorecard you beat him. You already it was a total blowout. So he should have got him out there around the mid rounds. As for the smothering of the punches, I'm going to say this once and I'm going to say this again. A person that Robert Easter needs to look at when they got their opponent on the ropes is Sergey Kovalev. I feel like when Sergey Kovalev goes in for the kill, he's not smothering his punches. Those are precision shots, cerebral shots. Those are, man, like.
Look at him using big words.
Hey, why 2K can use big words and I can't? Fine. Hold on. Let me get back to casual. He throws the harder punches when he got his opponents on the rope. No, but he uses his jab. He may hit him. He may even throw a feint, go to the body, and it's just all the shots are just, man. Chris, they're not wasted energy shots. He's not. That's who Easter needs to look at when he got his opponents on the ropes. That was my one main thing, because when he had Cruz on the rope, it was just like he was just swinging for everything, trying to get him out of there. Instead of just being like, you know what, let me back up, use that jab, boom, let me hit him in the body, double back up and hit him to the head. Let me go to give him a left hook to the body, then the right uppercut, whatever it took to get him out of there, he would have got him out there quicker. Other than that, you know what I did like about this? He used his range. He used his height and his range in this fight. And I was impressed with that, because in that co-main fight, he was just pretty much trying to slug it out with the dude. So,
I mean, once he threw that, he started letting that right go. I mean, it looked like he was like using his range, but, you know, he really did in the majority of the fight. He like Kay said, he waited around a lot. I didn't like that.
I
think I saw a spurt where he didn't throw a punch for fucking 45 seconds to a minute of the round. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Yep. He started off the round jabbing, you know, using his jab. I definitely think his output, he needs to be smarter in his output. He needs to use his range. I mean, that kind of freakish length and size at 135, like, he needs to really maximize that shit. I mean, Flanagan is probably about, Flanagan is about the only other dude with a similar build in that division. And I don't think he has the tools that fucking Easter, I mean, at least the talent that Easter has. You know, it's just a matter of putting it together. I want to ask you guys this, because I think this is something we're starting to see a lot of. Guys sticking around with their amateur trainers too long. Do you think it's a thing that you need to, especially with a guy in Easter's career, still early, not even in his prime, man, real young? Do you think it's time for a switch up? Like, you know, even guys like Felix Verdejo, you know, I've been saying it for a couple of years. You know, like, you need to abandon your amateur trainers and get with somebody that's going to build you and make you grow as a professional.
I don't want to generalize my answer, because I'm all for a fighter sticking with a trainer that has born and bred him in the sport of boxing. I plan on training my son, so I wouldn't want my son to be like, all right, Dad, you got me through amateur, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it up. Nah. So I agree with them sticking with one trainer, but at the same time, if it's evident that your trainer's skills are primarily only good for amateur boxing and they don't translate well into the professional ranks, then yes, you need to actually look at a switch. Like Adrian Broner, for example. Adrian Broner has boxing ability. Like, the things that Adrian Broner can do, like, if he wanted to move, the motherfucker can move. I've seen him in training moving around the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. We saw it against John Molina, you know. That was one of the things we've seen him do, you know.
Yes.
Good point. Yeah, good point, guys. Exactly. So, why is it that Mike Stafford does not have Adrian Broner moving around the ring again after losing to fucking Marcos Maidana and Sean Porter? Now, we will see what he does against Adrian Granados, because he's another pressure fighter. But if he doesn't have Adrian Broner moving around the fucking ring, and I know it's Mike, because I don't hear him telling Adrian Broner to do this shit. I don't hear him telling or tapping into Adrian Broner's potential as an actual boxer, a guy that can fucking, you know, move laterally, can throw combinations, turn you in the middle of the ring. I don't see him telling Adrian Broner to do this shit. You see what I'm saying? The things that he needs to do to actually beat these type of fighters, he's not telling him to do that. And that's a situation of, well, he's still an amateur fucking trainer. He thinks the things that he told him as an amateur will translate as a professional at the higher levels, and it will not. So and that's probably the same thing we're seeing with Barry Hunter and Robert Easter. Robert Easter right now, he called out Mikey Garcia. He might fucking lose that fight if he fights like he's been fighting the last 2 fights. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But he has the ability and the skill set to actually beat Mikey Garcia if he uses it properly. But I don't think Barry Hunter will have him using it properly.
All right. That takes us on to our next topic. Some pretty big news from Showtime, some historical stuff, actually. 2-time Olympic gold medalist, now professional Claressa Shields. She'll be headlining a ShowBox card coming up soon. She'll be the first woman ever headline a fight card on Showtime or on television, period. Well, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. I haven't. Did Layla Ali do any of that? No, I don't think so.
Nope.
Okay. But this will be the first one in the States, at least, to have a headline, especially on the premium channel. That's a pretty big look for Showtime. They're doing a lot of good stuff this year, man. I'll go ahead and get you guys' thoughts on that, starting off with a B. What do you think of this move by Showtime, and especially to put the limelight on the women? You know, we always say they don't get enough shine in the sport, just like the lower weight classes. So what are your thoughts on that, man?
Like me and Bo talked about, I think it's a great thing for boxing, and I think it's a great thing for Showtime. It's a great thing for Claressa, and a great thing for women. I, in a way, said that Showtime, I don't want to say it's a bad thing. They're capitalizing because this news came out like a week after, I would say after a few weeks after that Women's March. So I can see this is their way of trying to get, it's the thing we call new money by getting get new money in by getting new viewers. And women that would like to see other women doing stuff that they say they couldn't do, like boxing, MMA, or whatever type of basketball, other sports like that. I think this is a great thing for women's boxing because it's exposure. You got a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a young African American female coming up in this sport. I think it's great, man. And there's nothing. I don't think HBO would have done this. Just to say,
no.
I don't think they would. But this clearly showed that. What's the difference between Showtime and HBO? HBO didn't even put Claressa even on the premium channel, let alone you didn't even know she was. All you know was she was fighting.
Yeah, on the Kovalev or undercard. She should have definitely been on the televised portion. I didn't understand that shit either.
Yeah, so should have had her on the televised portion. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Showtime, which I think is a smart move. And we talked about this on our show. I felt that this may be a precursor to possibly maybe having an all-women's card of boxing on Showtime. I don't think it's going to be like this is my thought. I think it's a good thing. I think
it's definitely doable.
No, right. I think it's here because I know 2K goes with the hashtag real fans watch all 17. I think we should say real fans watch all 36.
Nigga, I said real fans watch the women as well. I got 2 of them. Get it right, my nigga.
Yeah, well, I'm going my own. Real fans watch all 36 divisions. That's men and women included, plus the 2 Canelo weights. Canelo weight and Super Canelo weight. So, so I got my own thing here.
If you look at it, it's actually good to see this. I like Bernard's idea about all women's card, man, especially to see she's getting pushed towards Showtime. That's a big move right there. And, Heyman has had the Hardy, getting a lot of TV publicity and, being televised. Amanda Serrano. I mean, this is definitely something I would look forward to seeing that kind of card personally. 2K, what are your thoughts as far as what's going on with Claressa Shields being televised as the main events on ShowBox, which is a series known for pretty much giving us glimpses into future world champions, man. Like, a lot of world champions have been made off of ShowBox, if you guys don't know. Bo actually went on this has talked about this a few times on the show as far as, the multiple fighters that have become champions after being showcased on the ShowBox series. Well,
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I have y'all know I did a damn final blow with talking about women's boxing, the state of women's boxing, and how, I hope the problem of not showcasing women is rectified this year. And I'm guessing Showtime heard that shit because now they got a fucking card, a woman headline and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is a great thing, My only gripe, if I had to complain, which, you always got to play devil's advocate, when we're talking about shit, my only gripe would be, let's do it with the only fighter in all of boxing that is a unified champion. I mean, she had a fight coming up, or she has a fight coming up, and it's actually a very good fight. We should have tried to get that fight headlined, on Showtime. Possibly did a deal with Cecilia Braggs and tried to get her signed to Showtime before we did Claressa Shields, and actually got that fight headlined, and that would showcase the most dominant fighter in all of boxing today. You see what I'm saying? That would be my only gripe about it. If we're gonna do it, we need to do it with the right girl. But nevertheless, it's still a good thing that we're actually doing it. So yeah, I'm all for it, man. I'll definitely be tuning in.
All right, and this will be Shields' second professional fight, and she's fighting for the NABF middleweight title. So that's a good look to set her up for some other stuff. Moving forward. That's going to lead us to our next topic. It's not a move. I won't say it's. Well, I guess it is a surprising move, really, to see this one. Shakur Stevenson, U.S. Olympic silver medalist from this past Olympic Games, signed with Bob Arum's top-ranked promotional banner recently over the past week. Let me get your initial thoughts on this one, 2K. Was it a proper move, considering that he's going to be fighting in the 126 division, fighting as a featherweight?
That's a hard one. I mean, I put it this way: before Top Rank actually settled their dispute with Al Heyman, I was like, yeah, this would be the dumbest move Shakur Stevenson can make. But since they settled their dispute, Bob Arum is actually smart enough to understand that without Al Heyman, his business is actually going under after losing the network of HBO. Him having to actually televise his own fights now, which they're not going to be doing that well, especially this Pacquiao-Jeff Horn debacle. I think it was an okay move as long as Bob Arum plans on doing business with Al Heyman. If he doesn't, I think it's a terrible move. At 126, I'm not exactly sure who signed with who. I don't know what fighters Arum has that are at 126. I know a couple of fighters.
Just Oscar Valdez.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know Heyman has some of them, and then most of them are in the UK and other places. So, as long as Bob Arum hasn't fucked up ties with Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, I'm not sure if Eddie Hearn fucks with him. Yeah, he does. Eddie Hearn fucks with him. So as long as he doesn't mess up those ties with those two guys, and then incorporates Al Heyman, I think it's a decent move, man. I don't see anything wrong with it.
All right, I'm gonna give Bernard's spin on a different perspective. There was some other stuff that came out, post signing, as far as some comments that Stevenson said.
I knew he was gonna give you the fuckery part of this.
And pertaining to one Mr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Pretty much said he was pussyfooting. He's talking more than action, which I thought was pretty funny, considering the dude went to Brazil to scout you out over everybody else. But anyways, let me get your thoughts on that, man. And I guess I could say I kind of knew something was going to happen once he signed with Andre Ward and Jay Prince's managerial thing. Like, Floyd was pretty much out the picture anyway. A long shot. But get your thoughts on that whole, behind it.
We already know what it is. If anybody don't know it, nobody will pay attention. Shakur Stevenson's favorite fighter is Andre Ward. So it would only be right that Shakur Stevenson would go under his favorite fighter. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's his preference. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Now, his comments against Floyd, I don't see nothing wrong with him either. He spoke his mind. That's how he felt. That's how he felt. Yeah. I mean, didn't Floyd say something? remember Floyd was high on Shakur Stevenson before he signed the war. Once he signed the war, Floyd started becoming wishy-washy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
yep.
He wasn't fucking with no Jay Prince. You don't want to be around fake ass.
No. Don't want to fuck with Jay. Don't want to fuck with Jay Prince.
Know, do your Googling. Do your Googling on Jay Prince and Floyd Mayweather and their past relationships. I mean,
I'm pretty sure
that.
Bob Aaron can tell you the story. I'm surprised Bob Aaron is doing business with Jay Prince.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure like this. I don't like the move, but I'm pretty sure if Aaron messes up, Jay Prince is going to handle that situation however he handles it. So I don't like the move personally. I thought he should have probably went with Al Heyman, but I kept saying in the thread and the comment thread, a lot of people kept saying Top Rank does very well with bringing up prospects. So with that being said,
but it's not like, everyone, all of them, like they've done their share, shit,
Well, shit,
everybody brought up some kind of prospect.
Maybe we'll get the fight we were supposed to see in the Olympics against Michael Conlon and Shakur Stevenson now. Since
that's pretty much what I think it's a setup for, man. 5 years down the line, that's pretty much what they're going to set up. Conlon versus Shakur Stevenson. I mean, Valdez will probably be moved up by then. These guys haven't even made their debuts yet. So, I mean, that's pretty much the move that is looking like these two will end up fighting each other probably 3-4 years down the line. I was. Anything else you guys want to add to this topic, or shall we move on?
I was gonna say that I agree 100% with Nard, man, what he just said. Floyd Mayweather, man. Yeah, I gotta remember this motherfucker gonna sign the weakest talent he could find because he ain't trying to find nobody that's better than him. Anybody that has a threat to being better. Getting better exposure.
It's funny because why wouldn't he want to maximize profit as a promoter? He would sabotage his own business doing this.
It's not even sabotaging his own business because look at the matchmaking he's doing. I mean, Mickey Bay should never have been a champion. You see what I'm saying? Ashley Theophane, he's in there for Adrian Broner to become a champion. You know what I'm saying? Even though Adrian Broner's not with him, they're all making money with Al Heyman. You see what I'm saying?
Jalen Love.
Yeah, Jalen Love was never a champion, but they're all making
like
money.
Like in ABF or something, or
that don't count. Nigga, we're talking about exactly. Exactly.
The prospect bills don't count, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. Floyd's got an opportunity to sign a lot of niggas, man, and he just don't sign them. He ends up with fucking Ashley Theophanes and shit. Why do you think that is? You know what I'm saying?
Did he sign the one? Who's the guy that Terrence Crawford knocked out? Delorme?
Yeah, he signed Thomas Delorme and Sal Neno Rodriguez recently. I like the Rodriguez signing guys. That was a good one for him. Rodriguez is pretty nice for a prospect.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't see why. I mean, maybe Shakur losing that last fight, but I still even that doesn't. That's not the reason, for me anyway, why he wouldn't sign Shakur Stevenson, man, or why he would. Man, I just really believe, man, it's not a situation where if the guy has a lot of let me put it this way, if the guy has a lot of potential to be something big, you know what I'm saying, even bigger than him. And I think a lot of it has to do with Andre Ward. I think, like I said, Floyd Mayweather has this animosity towards Andre Ward because of who he is and who he's become. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to deal with that dude, man. Straight up. That's just my opinion.
I mean, and would you think that Ward would try to stir Stevenson to Rock Nation? And I'm guessing, considering Andre Ward's dealings with Rock Nation, they haven't necessarily been the best. I mean,
right.
Outside of the Kovalev fight, he's had some hiccups, and Rock Nation has had hiccups in general. Even with Rigo, and I mean, nothing has gone smoothly for them in the boxing world. So I guess it's not a surprise for him to stare him towards top rank either. I would like to see him sign with Schaefer personally. Schaefer is real nice with his Ring Star promotions. So we'll move on to our next topic now, which is the return of Lucas Matthysse. He's been out of the ring for about close to 2 years, 19 months since his loss to Victor Postol. He was added to the Canelo and Chavez Jr. undercard that's going down in May. And he'll be making his debut at the 147-pound division. No opponent named yet. But what do you guys think of his return at this weight, actually? I want to get 2K's take on that. Him moving up to 147 and, the 19-month hiatus.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for him to go beat up some journeymans and shit, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as that motherfucker step up, about to take another L, man. Lucas Mathisse's style, it's funny because I remember watching Matthysse in 2012. I was like, damn, that nigga can box. He can apply pressure, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, man, it's like when you get a blueprint out on him, you realize that he can't make adjustments. He'll continue to do the same thing. Even if you've already defeated, his plan A, he sticks with plan A. And that's always going to be a problem, man. As long as you can, fighters with low IQs, as long as you can defeat their plan A and they have no reason to adjust or they have no ability to adjust, you'll always beat them. And the guys at the top level of 147, they all have the ability of beating Lucas Mathisse's plan A. So, I mean, like I said, he can go fight some bums and shit, niggas with 12 and 26 records, look good against them. As soon as he step up in competition to maybe even a B+ or A- level fighter, he'll take another L.
All right. Bernard, let me get your take on that as well.
Let me first I'll say this. If you go to the first, Truth and Facts About Boxing videos, I was looking for Lucas Matthysse. I thought Chino Maidana ate him. Apparently that didn't happen. Now, this Victor Postol, let's be honest, dog. Did it really look like Matthyse's eye?
No.
His eye. Oh, yeah.
No.
So, yeah, his orbital bone wasn't broken. I think that's what happened. He lost. He gave up in that fight. His pride was hurt because he couldn't outbox. He couldn't box a taller fighter who had exceptionally boxing skills at the time. So he took his ball, went home, and decided to rest or whatever. Do whatever he had to do to get his confidence back up. I'm gonna put it like this. I know I'm gonna say this. I know 2K gonna laugh at me. I would like to see at 147 pounds. He probably gonna know what I'm talking about. My boy King Pete get revenge on Matthysse.
Oh, you want to see King Pete get hit in the arm and get knocked out again?
Hey, 2K. You 2K, dog. You 2K.
Oh, shit.
No.
I think Lamont, I won't say he underestimated him, but he was in for a motherfucking shock of his lifetime in that fight.
I think
he got the draws whipped off of him. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's lying down in his white, you know what I'm saying?
That boy was he was free balling after that fight, nigga. Free balling.
Damn, man. You know what, man? I should never even said that.
I'm a King Pete fan, man, but he got his ass whooped.
He did. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Malachi when you made that video. I didn't even notice. I know about I totally forgot about King Pete getting hit on the arm, but I don't want to bring that up. But
that nigga got hit on the forearm and fell down, Twine. I know you remember that shit. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. He tripped over his foot, dog, man. That's what I saw. Okay, but I mean, really, with y'all just man. Oh man, shoot, man. No, y'all gonna make me hang up this phone, dog, and don't talk to y'all for like 2 weeks, man. No, but for real though, let me get on it. I'm trying to figure out who could he fight at 147 pounds. I mean, a couple good, decent matches I would like to see, possibly him versus Saddam Ali, because that's a golden boy.
Good fight.
Maybe
that's
Lucas.
a good one to make, and he'd probably smash the shit out of Ali even at this stage of his career. Yeah.
Yeah, or I'd like to see also him versus Jesse Vargas.
Oh, my goodness. I was thinking about that while I was talking, too, man. That's a good fight because, all of a sudden, when Pacquiao fights Jesse Vargas has this knockout right hand that I've never seen before in my life. So I would like to see him land that very powerful, Gennady Golovkin right hook on Lucas Matthysse and see if he gets knocked out. I would like to see that. I got Jesse Vargas losing bad in that fight, man. Get the fuck out of here. Jesse Vargas is whack to me, man. I don't give a fuck who listening. Jesse Vargas.
I mean, he got a lot of gift-ass decisions throughout his career and still ended up in a position where... Khabib Alakverdi beat his ass. He should have kept the WBA 140-pound title. And then Saddam Ali, man, I was never high on this nigga. I was actually in awe when he beat Carlos Abreu. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, how the fuck did this happen? I actually thought that was an incredible performance from him. And, Abreu, he was coming off a long layoff, too. So, I had to take that into consideration. But, all the other times I had seen Ali prior to that, or any other time I've seen him outside of that Abreu fight, I haven't been impressed by him at all.
Yep. Exactly. Even going all the way back to the amateurs, man, because I had seen him fighting the amateurs. Never impressed. I thought him and the Arroyo brothers, I had them in the same category. I was never impressed with all three of those guys back in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? So to see Ali in the pro, and he's fighting another whack motherfucker that I never was high on when Floyd had him. I was like, yo, this Mexican dude is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, to see them two niggas fighting for a title, I was like, man, come on, man. You got two whack motherfuckers about to be calling themselves a world champion possibly, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Too many belts.
Yeah.
Well, he could probably be the IBO champion at 147.
Shout out to the IBO.
Shout out to the IBO.
You know what? I should have took the motherfucking final blow tonight, man. That's what the hell I want to sound off on. But,
hey, you won it. You got it.
Hey,
I'll take on it, man. Unless you got something better, man. Because we already gonna go in a little bit.
I'm kind of interested in what you got to say about the IBO.
Man,
for real.
Let's go ahead and go into this next. We're gonna go into talk a little about. We probably should save it for later, actually. So I'll bring that one to later. Let's talk about this latest breaking news that came out today. Our boy actually told us about it a little bit earlier. Alexander Usyk, cruiserweight champion, he has gotten rid of his trainer, James Ali Bashir, and that's kind of something we knew was coming just because of the talks. We've all chopped it up with Uncle James, and he's one of the cooler dudes that we've come across on this show. He's actually been a guest on our show before, but let me get you guys some of the thoughts you guys have behind this firing. I mean, I'm one of those people to where if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And, Usyk's actually been looking good as a cruiserweight. Won his title under Ali. So I'll go ahead and let 2K take this one first, man. What's your thoughts on this one?
Who did he go with? Do we have any
word?
Lomachenko's father.
With Lomachenko's, yeah. Vitaly.
Okay. This is a Russian thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Or Ukrainian thing. I don't give a fuck. They're all in the same area. Same shit. This is a Russian thing. Look, the same shit that we got with, Sergey Kovalev coming out and saying what he said about JDJ. Now, of course, that's not official. He has not left JDJ. And actually, there's been some rumblings about them being in training for a rematch with Andre Ward. But still, he said what he said. He talked about how he doesn't really respect American trainers. Then right after that, we've got fucking Alexander Usyk actually dropping a trainer that got him to a higher level than what was perceived of him. Remember, Alexander Usyk is 11-0 or some shit like that. He is still a prospect if you look at his record. Okay, he just started, and now he is at the top of the cruiserweight division holding one of the belts and beating one of the more dominant cruiserweights. Why? Because of the type of trainer that he had that actually helped him get there. Of course, he had to execute the game plan, but the game plan was devised by his trainer. And then all of a sudden he drops him. So I'm thinking, man, with these Eastern Europeans, let me not just say Russian, let me just say these Eastern Europeans that have, or these Europeans anyway, that have American trainers, it seems as if there's a trend here where they're either thinking about dropping or they're dropping them and they're going with their own countrymen. I have no problem with that, but my advice with this shit is for these American trainers, don't put all your eggs in one basket when you've got these European fighters. It's this is becoming a trend. So let's look at trying to get some of these American dudes up there first. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, it's almost like they was picking his brain and like, okay, we got your style now. You know what I'm saying? Because fucking Vitali was his amateur trainer at that.
Yep.
So I mean, I kind of feel like it was like these motherfuckers was picking Uncle James's brain, and they're like, okay, we don't need you no more. We got what you got. We got you good.
Yep. Exactly.
I'll go ahead and pass it on to Bernard. You may be a little more familiar with that situation, considering. I mean, I know you and Bo got your show, and he might have mentioned this to you prior. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna say this. I'll speak on that part. The first thing you said, Bo will probably know a little bit more because him and Bashir talk a little bit more than me and than I had with him. I could sit here and say this. I agree. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I could see what 2K said. They picked his brain. They picked the good. They took his knowledge. What they're gonna basically do? He's gonna take it back, bring it to Lomachenko's father, and then run with it. I can't say that's a bad thing. I mean, it's business. Do what you got to do.
Like reverse engineering.
Right.
It happens in the economies. Like in reverse engineering, we take something from someone.
It's like yeah, you with a girl, she might show you some tricks. You might be with a cougar, she show you some tricks. You get rid of her, you go to another chick. You know what I'm saying? And apply those tricks with her. Hey, it happens.
Well, what kills me is we're actually getting these fighters at top level, and then they're dropping the American trainers and continuing. So it's basically, without that American trainer, you wouldn't be where you were at. That's what that shit looks like to me.
And it's actually evolving the whole Eastern European style, because what they were known for back in the day was being fucking stiff as hell. And
they still are.
Up a lot of, yeah. I mean, but you look at guys like specifically Vasyl and Usyk, like those guys are bred from some American shit. You feel me? Like they got a lot of brothers.
Murat Gassiev is exactly what you said about this.
He's definitely stiff. But I'm talking just strictly these two Ukrainians. Usyk and Vasyl. As far as movement, these dudes got a lot of spunk to him. I mean, especially Usyk being the big guy moving the way he does. But I actually think, this is all Aegis Cleanest. That's the manager of both Vasyl and Usyk. And, I mean, just from other stuff we've heard, previously, talking about this being in the works, kind of seems like, Uncle James runs a real tight ship, and he wasn't having all that extra shit around the camp, which, I guess Aegis wasn't really feeling, so they've been trying to nudge him out for a minute, man. So, big up to Uncle James. Hopefully we could get him on the show to chop it up a little bit with us about that, and, some of the other fighters he's got coming up that he may be able to focus on, bring them up to the championship level. We're going to go into our next topic, though, from there. Now, this is that bullshit because, 2K, you just talked to this boy's trainer. I mean, what is it, Rozier?
Oh, Andre Rozier?
Andre Rozier, yeah, trainer for Avtandil Khurtsidze, who is reportedly going to step aside money for Billy Joe Saunders to make a defense against who knows what. I mean, I said, you remember what I said, if he, if he did this, because Rozier was actually going off saying, if Billy Joe fights anybody other than my guy, you know what I'm saying, he was going to flip the fuck off. But
he was, Rozier was saying, he was talking about in relative to the WBO rankings, like if they didn't rank Khurtsidze high enough to get that mandatory spot, and they allowed Billy Ho to fight somebody else, then he was gonna appeal, write a letter to the WBO and call him and shit, talk shit to him basically, in a nutshell. But I mean, this is Khurtsidze. He's doing this. And the funny thing is, I mentioned this on my show, bro. When the WBO ordered that he would be his mandatory, we did a show, me and Seth, we did a show basically saying, okay, I guarantee you Billy Ho will offer Khurtsidze step-aside money. And I said, I don't know if Khurtsidze can take it or will take it because it shouldn't be that much money any fucking way because Billy Ho ain't no star in the UK or over here or anywhere else for that matter. So I was like, it might not be that much money, but I could see them offering it. Then I said, if he did do it, there really wouldn't be nobody to fight unless it was a Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what the fuck it looks like is happening, dog. He offered the step-aside money because his dumbass is getting ready to take it. You know what I'm saying? And Billy Ho was like, yeah, it's going to be against a big fight. He named Ryu Murata. I think that's his name.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing, the Japanese cat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We talked about this last week, yeah.
That's not a big fight by any stretch of the imagination. Now, Billy Ho is saying, oh, it's for a big fight. That's why I'm doing this. But he names him. That's a terrible fight, number one. Number two, he also I think he said Canelo. I'm not sure if he said it or if it's just out there. But they have been talking about Canelo fighting him later on this year for the WBO title at 160 after the Chavez fight. Now, if it's for that fight, then I can't fault Billy Ho actually offering step-aside money for to Khurtsidze. But if it's for fucking Ryu Murata, come on, bro. Another Billy Ho fuckery scheme, dog, to try to keep that WBO title. And that's exactly what I said it would probably be, a fuckery scheme, man. I can't stand this nigga, man. Billy Ho is, like I said, he is the number one nigga I can't stand on 2K's list of number one niggas I can't stand, basically, dog. Adonis Stevenson, number 2, dog. Adonis Stevenson has moved down to number 2. Congratulations, Adonis. You've been beat. Get out of here, man.
I think Billy Ho should have been stripped a long time ago between his inactivity and just all the fuckery he's doing. He definitely should have been stripped. B, let me get your take on this, man.
Man, I was in the Eastwick boxing group, and they said that it was just a little post. It was a picture. I'm looking for more info on it. And he's trying to pay Khurtsidze step-aside money for a possible Triple G fight, which I know a doggone well Billy Ho is not going to try to fight no Triple G. Just my take, because if that's the case, that means Triple G is looking past Jacobs, because we already know they don't have a rematch clause in that fight. So I don't want to get off on topic. I want to say with this Billy Ho shit. I think I want to piggyback on the comment of 2K said. When I read the article, Billy Ho, I guess, believed that number 2 fight, his fighting his number 2 contender, is a bigger fight than fighting his number 1. Because if he has the fight in Japan, he can make a lot of money.
No.
I don't know what.
But Murata doesn't fight in Japan. Murata's been fighting in the U.S., hasn't he? That's why I've seen him on some U.S. cards.
No, but he said he wants to fight in Japan because it'll be a big fight in Japan. That's what he said. That's his logic. Now, my thing is this, and I think 2K could probably you can piggyback on this. I'm gonna throw it back at you. Is this some kind of plan? I know Billy Ho is ducking. It seems like he's ducking his number 1 contender. But is this some kind of way? If they said if this is true that it's a possible fight for June 10th between him and Triple G, is that a way for Triple G trying to avoid Khurtsidze? So we'll help you pay the step aside money,
but you fight Triple G on June 10th.
Bruh, I don't think Billy Ho fights Triple G ever. If he does,
Okay.
I'll be surprised.
Okay.
For real.
No, I will have to show y'all. I'll show y'all a picture.
If he wants it, I don't think it happens. He definitely doesn't want to take that kind of career-ending bout, which is what it was.
Exactly.
So, I guess we could kick it off into our next topic, man. Speaking of Ukrainians, we got high-tech Vasyl Lomachenko. His next bout was signed to face WBA regular champion Jason Sosa. It should be taking place, I think, in March or April in D.C. I guess you can consider it a unification. It's the regular belt though, so he'll be fighting for a version of the belt that Jason Sosa owns. Sosa seems pretty amped about this fight, but Sosa is amped about every fight. You know, he doesn't turn anybody down, and you know that's what I like about him. Like he comes to fight anybody. Just like what do you guys think about this fight really? And you know, the Corrales fight fell through for whatever reason. You know that was considered to be official, and then this just popped up recently over the last week or the last couple of days and talk. So, what do you guys think of this fight, man? I'll go ahead and start off with you, B. What do you think of this fight for Vasyl Lomachenko?
Against who against again? Because you said it.
Jason Sosa, WBA regular champ, at 130.
I'm kind of shocked in the sense. Well, who's Sosa's promoter? Let me say that first.
Shit, I don't know who the hell he's fighting under. He might, I don't know.
And
I'm not sure. Because he's fought on Heyman cards and he's also fought under, on HBO. So, like, he's actually been on both.
So, when I make this, the reason why I say I think it's, I mean, I see Lomachenko winning. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good fight. It's possibly going to be. It's going to end up being a blowout eventually. We all want to see. Well, I don't think we all want to see. We all knew he should have been fighting Corrales. I don't know where that fight fell through over the issues and everything. But the reason why I say I'm shocked because I'm so used to Top Rank throwing. It seems like they're making moves now in the sense of trying to go out the way and get other championship belts for their fighters. Not other champions, get their fighters to fight for other championship belts and unify. I think this is a good step for them to go and fight Sosa. So if Lomachenko wins and he becomes a regular champion, he with WBA consolidating their belts. Hopefully, we'll see the Corrales and Lomachenko fight possibly later on this year. So I think it's a good thing. I'm kind of shocked in myself because I got called Tom Ray. I call them the WBO Mafia. All they do is get WBO belts and they fight on HBO. So to see that, I'm kind of shocked with that one. That's my thing. As for the fight itself, man, I mean it's a big step for Sosa. I think his last fight he won the belt, right?
Yeah.
No.
I think that wasn't his last fight against Fortuna.
No, his last fight he defended against Stephen Smith.
Okay.
I
would have expected Sosa to probably get a couple more defenses, but taking on somebody like Lomachenko, I give him his credit. You know, he wants to become a unified champion. I don't blame him, but I don't think it's going to turn out to what he think it is. But I give him credit all due, man. Hopefully he comes in and gives Lomachenko a better fight. Than what Walters did. So.
Okay. I got to give Sosa credit because he's, like I said, he's taking on every fighter that's come his way. I mean, I think to his career, people didn't expect him to even get this far. So I'll go ahead and let TK take it as far as what he sees in this matchup. And, I mean, just what it is, man.
I mean, it's a good fight. My only issue is that we've seen Jason Sosa get outboxed before by Nicholas Walters. So it really shouldn't have any difference. Shouldn't be any difference in this fight, but I think it's still a good fight. I think I would like to see this fight more than I would like to see the Jezreel Corrales fight, only because Corrales he's a bit wild. He doesn't have any control when we're looking at his style and how he paces himself in the ring. Whereas Jason Sosa does. He's a more controlled fighter. Jason Sosa is more, how do I put it? He's more entertaining when he's fighting guys that are kind of like him. You know what I'm saying? Or guys that can box, but they're not elite level boxers, like Stephen Smith, for example. And even in that fight, Stephen Smith was clearly a C+ to B- level fighter. He even had some moments in that fight. Javier Fortuna was whooping his ass until he got caught in the 11th round. You know what I'm saying? So, and Javier Fortuna is a fighter that pretty much has a similar style. That's why that fight was actually so entertaining. So, but against an elite level boxer like Vasyl Lomachenko, who judges distance very well, he gives these ridiculous angles. He throws combination punches at will. Dictates the pace of almost every fight he's in. This might end up being a blowout. But at the same time, if Jason Sosa can employ some of the same things that Orlando Salido was able to in their fight, and this is what makes this fight intriguing, because he can do that. If he's able to do that with success, then we have a very good fight on our hands.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, TK. He definitely needs to emulate a pressure style. Like most of the great boxers that utilize their legs or ring generalship, the one thing that gives them problems is bulldog-ass fighters.
Yep.
So hopefully that's something they're working on. I know the homies in New Jersey is probably excited about this for them. You know, they're big fans of Jason Sosa out there, and, you know, being a hometown cat. So, I mean, this is a good look for him. He's maximized his potential. And even if this is him cashing out right now, shit, this is the perfect person to do it against. I mean, no harm, no foul in this one, man. But definitely give it your all and give us a good fight like you've been giving us, you know, even against Fortuna. Good-ass fight, even though you're getting your ass whooped. You managed to give us a good fight against Nicholas Walters, man. And, you know, I just hope to see the same thing, and it's not a totally one-sided fight the way I'm thinking right now. But, you know, we'll see how it happens and how things evolve, man. That brings us to our next topic, man, which is pretty recent. It was going to be something else as far as purse bid for Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr. Delayed by a week, but it's looking like that fight is actually signed, sealed, and delivered, according to, you know, Kell Brook. He just tweeted out some shit. I'll let Bernardo and y'all decide, you know, whoever's gonna say the quote, because I haven't seen the tweet yet. But it was supposedly made official today. Kell Brook taking on his mandatory, which he's never been reluctant to do. So reluctant to do until now. That's another story.
Yeah, no, you know what? Let me take that one. Let me take this one, because I've been the one like, yo, I feel like this is your mandatory has earned that shot to fight your mandatory. The fact is he didn't give Kevin Bisping or JoJo Dan any hassle when it came to defending mandatories against them. But with Spence, he's managed to drag this shit out for. No, that's what I'm about to say, because I had an issue with that. I was saying, hey, Errol Spence earned it. Motherfuckers that was ranked under the IBF with him didn't even want to take the IBF eliminator bout. The only person that eventually ended up taking it was Bundu. Give credit, even though he got stretched in for the 6 million that was watching it during the Olympics. So, I mean, he stretched it out. What did he do? He ended up running to fight Gennady Golovkin, gets his orbital bone broke, and all of a sudden he looked like he was going to flake out, and I was going to be on his ass for it. But I'll give credit to Kell Brook for saying, hey, I want to fight Errol Spence. All I'm going to say is there's going to be a man down in Sheffield, England. So, if I could, I would go over there and watch that. But, hey, Errol Spence wants it. He's hungry. I want to sit here and say this. You don't see nobody calling out Errol Spence within the welterweight division. And I want to give. The reason why I say I will give that credit to. I want to give the credit to the person that said that, which is Michael Wilson of Pound for Pound Boxing. When he said that, if you notice, nobody calls out Errol Spence. Errol Spence is calling everybody out, but nobody will call him out. I give credit for Kell Brook taking this fight and being the champion that he is, defending against his mandatory as he should. But in a way, I kind of felt like this. If he wanted a big money fight or whatever, just my opinion, what he could have did was he could have fought the WBO champion, Jesse Vargas at the time, before jumping to Gennady Golovkin. Could have fought him, got a bout against Pacquiao, beat Pacquiao, and then possibly go against Errol Spence. That wouldn't even more. He wouldn't have to worry about this because let's be honest, this fight is really high risk, low reward for Kell Brook. He doesn't really gain anything. I mean, if he may gain something if he beats Spence, but we know how fundamentally sound Spence is. So,
all right. 2K, let me get your thoughts on the announcement of, I guess. Well, did you see the tweet, Bernard? I guess I wanted to see if you had actually seen the tweet or anything yet, because I'll read it to y'all.
Bernard, I got it. I'm about to read it right now. That's why I was waiting. I was just waiting on him to finish.
Okay.
It might be the same. Just let me know if it's the same one you see, Bernard.
Okay.
It says, all that work just to give up. Never ducked a challenge in my life. Here to give the fans what they want. At Errol Spence Jr., you are next. That's the last one that I see. Okay.
That's the one I see, yes.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, I'm going to go ahead and get on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and tag this cat that had watched one of my videos where I talked about Kell Brook being scared and shit, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not going to shy away from that because I still think he was scared. That's why we had a hold up on this fight for so fucking long. And we're looking at Amir Khan and shit. I mean, it's a different kind of fear. It's a fear of not being able to maximize your profits. You know what I'm saying? Taking L's to these young fighters nowadays means losing money to them. It's not how it was back in the day where you could lose 13 fucking times and still find your way in a major fight for major money. You know what I'm saying? These young cats don't have that mentality anymore. So it's exactly what Bernard said. When you compare Errol Spence to Amir Khan, it is low risk, low reward in that aspect. When you compare Errol Spence to Gennady Golovkin, again, low risk, low reward. So when he's looking at going to 154 and he's combing the 154 division to see who he can fight against for big money, and he sees Canelo's already taken, well, shit, the only one he has left, because Amir Khan won't fight him, is Errol Spence. So all he really did, people, before you start saying, Kell Brook, oh, man, he's a warrior. He just fell back on his last option. That's exactly what the fuck happened. Because guaranteed if Canelo would have said, yo, Kell, I'll fight you, we would not be seeing this fight. Actually, we'd see Kell vacate his title and fight Canelo. Okay? If Amir Khan would have said, you know what, let's fight. And, you know, he took that 70-30. I think Amir Khan offered it to Kell, 70-30. And Kell said, yeah, I'll take it, and they actually fought. We would see Kell Brook dropping the fucking IBF title, people. So, again, before you jump up and say he's a warrior and all this shit, he fell on his last option. Now, back to what I was going to say. I'll go ahead and tag the dude that disagreed with me saying Kell Brook is scared, because I told him, I said, if they fight, I'll tag you and tell you, all right, that's what's up, you were right, and I'll give it to him, but at the same time, I will say what I just said. Understand that this is his fucking last option. Now, with all that said, I'm glad the fight's happening, and the new.
Hey, can I piggyback on something that 2K said real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Bernard.
And I want to say this because what Bo was saying, because Bo had a weird feeling. and maybe you could possibly see this possibly coming too. Why did Eddie? Wasn't it convenient that when the Kirkland and Cotto fight fell through, Eddie Hearns asked for a week extension for the purse bid, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but here's the problem though. Earl Spence already said I'm agreeing to take the 25%. You know, so which to me didn't make any sense. So this was Bo's thought process. Hey, yo, I think Brook is going to vacate the belt and fight Cotto.
That's a good point.
I mean, this is Bo. I mean, because really, Cotto. He said he's based it off this because Rock Nation owes Cotto $10 million. The only way that fight could be made is the fight Miguel Cotto is in UK. To get to maximize their money out of it. Kell Brook is still young. Cotto's pretty much out the door. This is a good fight. This is technically, I can see it being a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going for the fight. I see it as a good fight, but I know what I really want to see was Spence versus Brook. That's all.
The fight is long overdue. Spence has been waiting since when was his fight? Against Bundu in July?
June or July.
Okay, so I mean he's been waiting for quite some time, and I know Brook was injured with the eye socket injury and all that stuff, but I'm actually glad it's finally here, man. And you know, Brook didn't go out like no sucker, but I'm hearing some motherfucking shit already as far as people making excuses about it. Weight drained and yada yada yada. Nobody told his ass to fucking go to 160 and come back down. Fucking shit. They had another fucking purse bid, man. Nobody told him to do that punk shit. So I mean, I don't want to hear no fucking excuses when he get his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? The truth will set you free, and that's just how I feel about that one, man.
And the new.
Yep.
Man down.
I mean, and just to put this out there will be a 10-pound rehydration clause per the IBF. I guess that's normal for their title fights, which is something I did not ever know. So I think that's going to make things even more interesting in this bout, considering what people are saying about Kell's weight already. So that is, we'll wait for official announcement, but it's looking like it's going through, fellas. And even if it's not, purse bid would be set for this week as far as whether Brook is stripped or whatever. So that shit needs to be officially announced within the next day or two. Like I said, we're going to go into another some bullshit. The heavyweight division, I tell you, man, it's always something. Can't really speak much on this one, but, it's looking like Bermane Stiverne will not be fighting Luis Ortiz in the title eliminator, at least at the moment. There's still more stuff to come out about this, so we'll definitely keep you guys abreast on it. Bermane Stiverne made some comments basically this week, basically saying they had bigger fish to fry than Luis Ortiz, even though he is the number 2 for the title eliminator, essentially taking away a shot from Stiverne. So I'm kind of baffled by those comments that he's saying with bigger fish to fry. I'll go ahead and start off with UK as far as your thoughts on Stiverne declining the title eliminator. I know there's some drama as far as the whole Povetkin situation as to why he's, doesn't really feel he should have the fight in the title eliminator. So I'll go ahead and get your thoughts on it, bro.
Yeah, I don't understand what the big deal is. Is this for the WBC title?
WBC title, yeah.
See, I don't understand because his biggest thing was trying to get that rematch with Deontay Wilder. He said that was like his number one goal in life right now. Of course I'm adding words to it, but that's what the fuck he was saying. You know what I mean? And he had an opportunity with Povetkin, and of course Povetkin fucked that up. Then they said, all right, our bad. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and match you up with Luis Ortiz. He is the number 3 ranked guy. Go ahead and fight him, for your chance at Wilder. And he steps down. This is just further proves my point that I said almost 2 years ago when he knocked out Bryant Jennings. And the video that came right after that knockout that night I stated Luis Ortiz will now be the most ducked heavyweight in the fucking division, man. And that's what we're seeing.
Call that as well. Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's absolutely no reason why. What bigger fish do you got to fry, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? You said you want a rematch with Deontay Wilder. The WBC said, okay, beat Luis Ortiz, you have your rematch. What the fuck are you talking about? Who's the bigger fish, nigga? That's what you scared. Just say it, man. I'd rather these niggas just come out, come on camera and be like, hey, bro, I'm not going to fight the nigga because I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Like on some Rocky shit. I'm afraid. That's what these niggas need to do, dog. Real talk. Because it's
on record. Go ahead.
It's the same shit. Yeah, it's the same shit. I mean, it's not going through me. I can see this shit. You know what I'm saying? And what we do here on the podcast and on our respective channels, I'm going to make everybody else know it. So you might as well just say it. Doesn't make any fucking sense,
it makes absolutely no sense for a guy that's wanted this rematch with the WBC champion and to be finally in a place that all he has to do is fight an eliminator. I mean, he has it pretty much in his head already that he's lost. Doing shit like this, but I'll go ahead and let Bernard take it, man. What are your thoughts on this move by Stiverne? And pretty much, I'll ask that after, but let me get your thoughts on this initially right now.
Well, I do agree with 2K. I want to come from a devil's advocate point of view. Do you look at it as this is frustration on Stiverne, being mad at the WBC with the whole Povetkin situation? Like, I got ready.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish.
He definitely does feel like, I think he definitely does feel like
he's
he's
like,
doing something.
I'm not going to go through all these loopholes. My fight was against Povetkin. I came to Russia ready to go. This guy popped. Why do I got to continue? Why y'all going to throw another guy in front of me? You know, I'm playing devil's advocate here, guys. So people's like, oh my gosh, no. Look at it from this point of view. I'm trying to see his point of view. I'm frustrated. I want my title back. I don't want to fight another guy that could possibly beat me. You know what I'm saying? That's also hungry too. Let Deontay fight the guy here, and I should be next in line. I think that's what he feels. I've been training. I trained for a whole year to get a fight against the eliminator, and the fight falls through. I should technically be in that spot next in line, no questions asked.
Well, that's definitely Stiverne's attitude, and Suleiman was basically from the president of the WBC, basically said, no, you need to fight in the motherfucking eliminator. You know what I'm saying? So
Swan,
that's pretty,
Swan, absolutely, you're absolutely right. And to add on to what you're saying, and to answer Bernard's question, if this is the rankings: Bermane Stiverne number 1, Luis Ortiz number 2, Kubrat Pulev number 3, Dylan White number 4. If WBC said, all right, you ain't gotta fight Luis Ortiz. Fuck it, we'll fuck him like the WBA has been doing. He doesn't care anyway. You'll fight in the WBC eliminator against Kubrat Pulev. That motherfucker better say the same shit then. Kubrat Pulev, he ain't beat no fucking Bermane Stiverne.
Bigger, yeah.
He better say the same shit then. I expect that motherfucker to say, nope, I got bigger fish to fry, even though that is a winnable fight.
And spaghetti for breakfast, because that's the Haitian.
Yo, I thought you was going to say Dylan White. I thought he was going to say
either one of them niggas.
Big up to EBU.
Dylan White, that nigga fight like he on rollerblades and shit, man. Unbalanced ass nigga. I can't stand watching that nigga fight, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Let me get you guys take on this, man. Let me get you guys take on this. Ortiz is in a pretty tricky situation right now because he finds himself highly rated by the WBC, and he's also mandatory for whoever wins. I guess I'm not sure if it's out of the Joshua Klitschko fight or the Frezzo Kendo and Shannon Briggs Senior Bowl. But he's also highly ranked by the IBF. He's highly ranked by all the damn organizations basically. So I'm like, he's pretty much in a pick and choose situation right now, especially with Stiverne's ass saying he declines the fight for the title eliminator. What do you guys see Ortiz doing right here, especially when he's already the mandatory for the WBA? Do you see him going? Which route do you guys see him going as far as title? Also, go ahead and start with TK.
Yeah, you know what? And it's funny. I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna go through this real quick. It's funny you say that because Luis Ortiz has much more to lose here. He fought Bermane Stiverne in a WBC title eliminator. He could possibly, based on his performance and how he loses, he could easily get dropped in the WBA rankings. And I understand. I know that it doesn't matter because it was a WBC sanctioned bout. But the WBA could also look at that and be like, well, he's not.
I think they would drop him. Yeah, I think they would drop him.
Exactly. So he has much more to lose, given the fact that he's already been told that he is going to be the guy possibly fighting the winner of Anthony Joshua Vladimir Klitschko. You see what I'm saying? So, but to answer your question, I think he should stay on the WBA track because I mean, Luis Ortiz don't give a fuck. He knows he's the best heavyweight out there right now, in Tyson Fury's absence. So he's not worried about who he fights. He feels he could beat anybody, whether it be, Bermane Stiverne, Jarrell Miller, Shannon Briggs, or Freza Kendo, or fucking Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko for that matter. He thinks he could beat all of those guys. So he don't care what track he takes as long as he gets a world title. But if I was advising him, I'll be like, nah, let's keep you on the WBA track because you can beat either one of them two AARP member ass niggas that are getting ready to fight for the regular belt. You can beat any one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Vladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua. One is still green, regardless of how much popularity he has, and the other one's 40 years old, who's actually older than you. So you have opportunity to win that fight as well. So I keep him on the WBA track, get him a title, then try to unify with Deontay Wilder if Deontay Wilder even fights this nigga. That's what I would do.
Okay. You got anything you want to add into that, Bernard?
Man, I will stick with the WBA. Right now, I think that's the much.
Yeah.
To me, if I was Ortiz,
that's actually worth it.
Right. Why? Because apparently Stiverne's already said is basically saying no. So to even try to force that matchup where you could play right now, just take on another fighter. Just keep taking fights until it's time for you to get one of those belts over there. That's what I would do.
I know one of the things we were talking about earlier is whether or not he was actually officially enrolled into that VADA program by the day.
No, he is.
Okay.
He is. Because I took a screenshot of the last ranking, and they didn't discuss it. But if you look at it on the let me see if I can pull it up real quick for y'all. The CBP right next to their names.
Yeah.
Is the clean boxing program. That's what it means. So last month in January he was ranked number 3. Now he's ranked number 2. Yeah, CBP clean. CBP with the P. They was waiting his paperwork. Now they got his paperwork. They moved him up to number 2. So.
Okay. Next we're gonna get into this little topic. As far as we're gonna start our, I guess, somewhat previews for the week. Roy Jones Jr. fighting for the WTF World Cruiserweight title against Bobby Gunn. Ex-WWE wrestling champ Bobby Gunn.
Oh my God.
It's actually the WBF title, man. I'm just playing, but it should be called a WTF fight title because I'm like, what the fuck is this, man?
Man.
Is this? 2K, let me get your thoughts on this, man. And is this the finale for Roy Jones? Is this what this actually is alluding to? If he wins this, do we see him stopping?
You know what, man? I was planning on getting an interview with Roy, man. I'm gonna try to talk to him before the fight. If not, I'll definitely get it afterwards. But I don't think it's gonna be the end, bro. I think he's gonna fight somebody else. But this is what he's got planned in his favor. Bobby Gunn has not fought since 2013, man. And in his last 5 fights, he's 2-3. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked out by James Toney. He got knocked out by Thomas Ademic, and he got beat by Glenn Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's got going good for him, man. Bobby Gunn be getting his ass whooped. You know,
getting them checks, dog. Them checks.
Yeah, but he ain't got it. Motherfucker ain't got a check in 4 years. I mean, he's been working at Walmart or some shit in these past 4 years. But I mean, that's about it. I'm afraid for Roy because of his chin. Enzo Macronelli really slept the bug. It was pretty bad. And Enzo Macronelli's a motherfucker that ain't got no chin either, man. So I don't know, man. Roy's on a 2-fight win streak. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a chill.
It's hard to be serious and talk about it, man. Like I'm really hoping this is the swan song, man. Like win this damn WTF title and stick your ass to analyzing for HBO. You know what I'm saying?
I've never even heard of this title, nigga. Like, I know all the titles. I know even the little titles, man. WBF. I've never heard of this title, fam. Unless they...
Hold on. I gotta give
this is the problem. Well, I guess since I'm taking final blow, I'll go ahead and add it to that shit. But go ahead, Bernard.
I want to be... It's a couple things. I got to give a shout out to Chris Hardesty. He explained how that WBF title came up. It was a guy in his father's gym. I believe I could possibly be wrong. I asked him about the story. He's in the Müvment boxing group. He's also a trainer at Jackson Boxing Club in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
He said that the father told personally started, and he had money, started the WBF up just so his son could have a world title.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's funny, right. Here's my thing, and I think Roy has been junior middleweight champion, right? Middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight, right?
Not junior middleweight.
Huh?
Nah, I don't think not junior. He never fought at 154, if I recall correctly. Okay. 160. Okay, so starting at 160.
Started at 160. Okay, I apologize. Well, from middleweight on, the only title he never had was the cruiserweight. That's why I think he went against Enzo Macronelli and he got stretched. He was trying to get that cruiserweight belt has been eluding him. So he wants that belt. And I think if he gets it, he can say, "Yo, I've been the division champ from middleweight all the way to heavyweight, no questions asked." So I think that's why he's fighting for that belt. That's what I think his reason is behind it. So it's because let's be honest, he ain't gonna take any of the cruiserweights on right now. That's in that's currently. I mean, do you see your fight? Do you see the fight Usyk?
Hey, honestly, I see him fight.
Maybe Tony Bellew or something.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Tony Bellew, fam. He could fight Tony Bellew. If I were him, I would be training for that fight, But did Tony Bellew drop the belt? So
yeah, he's at
head.
Hey, hold on. I got one for 2K. Right? This is why I'm gonna make him laugh. Have BJ Flores and Roy Jones fight for the WBC cruiserweight title.
BJ Flores knock him out.
Wait, what? Oh man, so Flores will actually win that match, huh?
Bro,
I mean, Roy is losing. Yeah, Roy is losing a lesser than that right now.
Yeah, Enzo Macronelli is like a guy that's been knocked out like 8 times, dog. Like and Roy couldn't even hurt this nigga. Nah, bro, BJ Flores would beat him. So would Bellew, but that would be the easier fight for him if he fought Bellew out of all the other champions. But like y'all just said, he already dropped the belt, so Roy's assed out now. So he can't win that.
All right. So let's go ahead and start our previews, man, for the fights this weekend. We'll start with the undercard. The fight card is basically the Adrian Broner versus Adrian Granado's fight, which will be taking place on Saturday. on Showtime, I believe, from Broner's backyard, Cincinnati, Ohio. On the undercard, we got Marcus Brown versus Thomas Williams, light heavyweight. And we also have our boy, King Pete, Lamont Peterson, making his 147-pound debut officially and fighting for the regular WBA version of the belt against welterweight or regular WBA welterweight titleist David Avanesian. Now, I guess I was going to go into some other shit as far as that WBA, but I could hold on to that one. Let's start off with Marcus Brown versus Thomas Williams. It's actually a good matchup on paper, even though, this is actually I guess a small step up. I won't say small. It's a good step up fight for Brown as far as facing Top Dog. They both have a lot to prove in this fight, so what do you guys think of this match, and how do you guys see it going? I'll start with GK, or Breaker Downer. 1919, break it down.
Yeah, you had it right the first time, man. It's a pretty big step up because not that Thomas Williams Jr. is a good fighter by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got the most experience out of all the guys that Marcus Brown has been in the ring with. So yeah, and plus Thomas Williams Jr. is coming off of a knockout, man. He's not trying to lose again. He's a very big puncher. But if you look at the style matchups, you look at the ability. Marcus Brown, if he fights the correct fight, and I talked to his trainer Andre Rozier, as you mentioned earlier, I talked to him about this. If he actually goes in the ring and does what he is able to do to the fullest, basically utilizes all of his strengths. As that pertains to his boxing style, he could beat Thomas Williams Jr. pretty easily without too much issue in the fight. But Marcus Brown is known to have sort of IQ lapses where he ends up slugging and shit in fights because he is a big puncher, so he doesn't really like to stay on the outside utilizing his boxing ability and his hand speed. If he gets in a slugging match with Thomas Williams Jr., he will make the fight harder than he really needs to make it. So it's intriguing to see what kind of fighter or what type of fighter we will see Marcus Brown, preferably his IQ. Will he be a guy that executes a very easy strategy to build against a fighter like Thomas Williams Jr., or will he actually deviate from the easy strategy that gets him the easy victory and make it harder than he has to? If he decides to do the latter, then we will actually have a good position for him in the landscape at 175, basically saying that a lot of the top fighters are going to end up fucking knocking this dude out. If he does the former, executes an easy game plan to an easy victory, he could possibly be a small problem at 175. So it's going to be intriguing, man.
Okay. Bernard, you got any follow-up on that, man? What are your thoughts about the fight, and who do you have win?
This fight is at
175.
175. Oh wow! And Top Dog took that L to Stevenson, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In his last fight, he was face down, ass up, right?
Hell yeah, like Creed style.
I mean,
I want my mommy. He was in the I want my mommy position,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What was Marcus Brown last fight? I can't recall right now.
April of last year against he's a Russian cat, but he was an undefeated guy, 21-0.
Okay, it was a questionable decision victory for him too, right?
Absolutely.
As I recollect, it was a very questionable fight.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he slugged. That's why.
Well, hey, wait, hold on. Well, Top Dog likes to slug, so like he did against Dominic Brazil, right? That was in that year,
No.
right? No,
you're talking about
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Edwin Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me on that one. Excuse me. Well, if this ends up,
they all look alike.
Hey. Oh man. Okay. If this is a slugfest, god damn.
I can see this turning into a slugfest. I won't be honest. I might have to give it to Top Dog on this one, man.
I mean, he definitely didn't stay disciplined in his last fight, and it resulted in him getting an ugly victory. So, I mean, I could definitely concur with your feelings on that, thinking that he can easily be drawn into a slugfest. But the thing is, Top Dog ain't got the best chin. He leaves himself open when he gets to throwing those wild-ass, looping-ass punches like he did against Edwin Rodriguez. And it's a matter of who lands first. Like Tupac said, I'm a bomb first. So whoever get that one first in is lights out,
Shit, shit.
Yes, I am official. I didn't pick no goddamn winner. I said whoever hits first. So I can't be wrong, technically. I cannot be wrong.
Protect yourself. Pick a motherfucker, nigga. Shit. Nah, it's cool, though. It's cool.
Oh, man. All right, so we're going to go into the next fight on the undercard, which I actually like, man. It's weird that King Pete finds himself in a position to fight for a title already, being that he hasn't had an official fight at 147, but he's been fighting a guy that Keith Thurman has. I won't say he's been avoiding because he's fighting bigger guys, but I mean he's managed to avoid having a mandatory in like fucking forever. Keith Thurman. I don't know how he's managed to stay if this a common decision between him and Avanesian or what, but King Pete, he's getting his title shot. First fight at 147. What do you guys think about this bout? And who do you have?
I thought we spoke on this a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to I'm gonna piggyback off on that Thurman that statement on Thurman. With him being the WBA, Super WBA welterweight champion, he technically doesn't have a mandatory.
Exactly.
Yes, he does. The consolidation.
Nah, they not. Nah, they don't always order the WBA Super to fight the regular. They don't always order that.
How do they pick and choose which ones, man?
I know.
Because they're the WBA.
I know. I agree. No, I agree, Twan. They shouldn't be picking and choosing. You're absolutely right. But in reality, man, they don't always order that shit, fam. I agree. They shouldn't pick and choose, but that's how it is.
And they shouldn't have all those goddamn belts for somebody else. You got the interim, you got the regular champion, and then you got the super champion. So, which totally doesn't make any sense to me. But that's what I'm saying. Technically, I forgot the dude's name. Vasyan's mandatory is his mandatory is whoever the interim champion is. So, With that being said, I know we spoke on this a couple weeks ago. King Pete, I'm gonna say this. He's gonna start off slow like he usually does. See something about some very Hunter fighters. They start off slow and they pick up the pace. I would like to hopefully see him come out a little more aggressive and set the tone for that fight and impose his will. I still have King Pete winning. I'm gonna say by unanimous decision. I'm not going for no TKO victory. Not that time I fucking pick it.
All right. TK, how do you see this fight going? What do you think of King Pete's debut at 147? Supposedly he was cramping in his last fight against Felix Diaz at the catchweight of 143 or whatever the hell it was. So he's finally made the move. What do you see of him in his debut performance for this regular title?
Be honest with you, man, this is a hell of a fight, man. This is a fight that a lot of people are not talking about, and it's mainly because they don't know who David Avanesian is. He thoroughly outboxed the old
Shane Mosley.
You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, it was a fight that he won walking away with. He's not a bad fighter, man. He's a decent fighter. He's got a decent jab. He's a little stiff. That European shit we were talking about earlier. A lot of these Russians and shit that are stiff. He's another one that's like that. But he is a little quirky. I could say that if Lamont Peterson's not on his game, he could actually, kind of like how he wasn't with Felix Diaz, he can actually go into this fight and lose. But I think they'll end up giving him the decision, even if he looks bad in this fight, just like they did against Felix Diaz. But I will say this, man. I hope to God, for his sake, that David Evanesian does not punch that right forearm, fam. That's going to be lights out, nigga.
You know what?
Hey, yo, I'm feeling real sensitive right now. Y'all keep bringing that up, man. That's making me feel real sensitive right now, dog. Look, again, I won't have to talk to y'all for 2 weeks, dog. I'll make up a story like say, yo, my phone broke or whatever, but shoot. I ain't got to talk to y'all, dog, man. No, y'all ain't going to be doing this to me, man. No, but for real, no. He tripped, man. Damn.
I mean, so I
he got hit. He was
he got hit on his funny bone. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And he tripped over his foot, man. I mean, gosh,
oh, Lord have mercy.
Man.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and throw my 2 cents in on this fight, man. I definitely think, from what I've been reading, King Pete's been taking his time and trying to refine his skills. I'm not sure how much more you could add to your arsenal, sticking with the same trainer, doing the same things. I know it's been a long break for him, but he's in need of a impressive win. Headhunter's Gym is definitely in need of an impressive win. Considering what happened to Rau'shee Warren's ass on Friday. I definitely see King Pete winning this fight, man, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say if he wins this fight, man, he will be taking on the winner of that Garcia-Thurman fight. And, I think the WBA would push for a fight like that. It's a whole lot bigger. I mean, they'd have more incentive, especially with somebody like King Pete winning, it's another title. So I got King Pete winning this one, and like I said, it is going to lead to him fighting the winner of the Garcia-Thurman bout. That's just my thoughts on it. Which leads us to the main event of the night, man, and, there's been some shit brewing over the past week in controversy or whatever as far as a recent announcement. The bout between Adrian Broner and Adrian Granados was originally supposed to be at a weight limit of 142 pounds. It's now being fought at 147, which the two mutually agreed on after, Broner apparently got sick during training camp. I don't know how y'all feel about that, if it's real or him bullshitting or him resorting to his old tactics of, his old bad habits or whatever. But that's pretty much what the word is that he was sick during training camp, and they decided to make it 147 because of that. But that said, man, this is a good-ass fight. When I initially heard the fight announced, I was like, woo, Broner's going in there against somebody that, he's a pit bull, man, and, that's the style that's been his kryptonite so far in his career. If you look back at fights like, Daniel Ponce de Leon, and Marcos Maidana, But let me go ahead and bring it over to 2K, man. Your analyst on this fight, man. What's your analysis on this fight, and what do you think of? Do you think Broner is mentally focused, and are we going to see him, OOAD,
Well, I can only go off of what he shows us, and based on what he's showing us, he seems like he's real focused. This whole debacle about moving up to 147, it could be a situation where he's just bullshitting. He can't make 140. I mean, there was a reason why he jumped from 135 to 147 in the first place. The reason why he went down to 140 was because he was taking L's at 147 and had to reinvigorate his career at 140 to become that popular draw again. While I don't think he's 100% back at where he used to be, he has reinvigorated his career to an extent, becoming a 4-time champion. But it really doesn't matter where the fight's at. Given Adrian Granados' style, he can beat Adrian Broner anywhere if he executes the right game plan. They could fight at 175. Adrian Granados would still be able to beat him because the style he has is what troubles Adrian Broner. It has nothing to do with weight. Also, Adrian Granados has already fought at 147 multiple times in his career. He had a draw with Kermit Cintron in 2013 at 147. He lost to Brad Solomon, who was a highly touted prospect. Very quick-ass hands, Brad Solomon. Lost to him at 147. So he's fought there multiple times already. So this isn't a new area for Adrian Granados. So with that being said, I think it's a good fight. I think Granados' style is much like Marcos Maidana's as far as the Pitbull style. But what a lot of people gloss over, two things people gloss over when it comes to Adrian Broner, Marcos Maidana, because that's what they're making comparisons to when it comes to this fight. Number one, Marcos Maidana had a jab that people like Floyd and Adrian Broner were not looking forward to seeing. They didn't think it was going to happen. Plus, Floyd, he's always been troubled by a well-placed jab in the first place. You don't even have to have an excellent jab. As long as you know where to throw it and it's placed well, it's going to trouble Floyd. Adrian Broner, back then, he had that wide-ass stance, like he was getting ready to do the splits, and then he was shoulder rolling. So if you ambush that style and then throw a fucking jab in there while you're ambushing, that's going to fuck him up. That's one thing people are glossing over. Adrian Granados don't have a jab like that. That's one. Two, Adrian Broner was actually whooping Marcos Maidana's ass when he got up. You know what I'm saying? When he got up from getting knocked down in the second round.
When he was able to move him backwards and keep Maidana on his back foot, like you said. Got that kryptonite. Keep on their back foot.
He was whooping his ass. Exactly. He was whooping his ass from round 3 to, I think, round 8 or 9 when he got knocked down again. You know what I'm saying? The nigga did the Harlem Shake on the way down. I think that was round 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? So people are forgetting about that. He was actually winning that fight if he wouldn't have gotten knocked down and then beaten again, you know, in the 11th and 12th round. With that being said, Adrian Broner can actually do well against that style if he's doing the right things in the ring. I think Adrian Granados doesn't bring the same type of style in the same way. He doesn't execute it in the same way as Marcos Maidana does. So I don't like to compare those two fighters and say, okay, this is what Adrian Broner is going to be looking at in this fight. It's not the same thing. So with that said, I think Adrian Broner's got a chance to win this fight. I think he can be checked if he just moves. Like I said earlier, if Mike Stafford incorporates movement with this motherfucker's style, man, and tells him to box from the outside and use all of the ring instead of just standing there planted in one spot, letting pressure fighters actually take over, dictate the pace. If he just moves, man, he'll take this fight, man. But if he doesn't, if he goes in there with that wide-ass stance, it's going to be a fight that he's making hard for no reason.
Yeah, and we seem to see him with that habit even in his training camps. While, you know, they're working combos or whatever, but he keeps a pretty fucking wide base, which I don't think is really a good idea because it hurts your, your defense to offense transition time. And, you know, a guy with AB's youth, you know, he still has a lot of reflexes and is able to move around. So I would like to see them get away from that posturing as well. One thing I do miss from AB is his work on the inside. You know, one of my favorite fights of his is the Antonio DeMarco fight. Who was actually motherfucker. You know, he was murdering motherfuckers at that weight at the time. You know, AB beat him at his game. You know what I'm saying? I miss that AB. I'm hoping to see some shit like that if it does come to push and shove with him and Granados having an exchange. Granados is a tough-ass dude. I'll go ahead and pass it to you, B. What are your thoughts on this fight and who do you have winning it?
I want to speak on the weight, the 142 to 147 part.
Go ahead, man. You can include all of that, man. You can include all that. You got it.
Oh, okay. We did a show earlier there, and I want to give I never thought about this. This could be a game plan from Broner's camp, and I'm gonna give credit to this Marcus, the Great Williams, the UK light heavyweight coming up. He said this could be a plan from the Broner's camp by having Granados get himself all the way to 142 pounds, then change it up on him within a week before the fight. Basically having himself work himself to get to 142. I don't want to say he's possible, maybe he's drained or whatever. Then when it comes down to a week, we want to change it. Now, I could see that. But here's the issue with that, though. I know Broner. I just saw Broner on Snapchat eating popsicles. So that clearly lets me know he ain't really being disciplined.
Yeah.
So, unless now, if you got a sweet tooth, I understand, hey, you might want to, hey, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? But you're
not
training.
in training. Yeah.
Not in training. So, you know, and what I'm basically saying is, I can see it, but I can see why. But he look like he's been working out. He look like he's in shape. I don't ask for his weight. I don't know. So he may be alluding that he has trouble making 142 pounds. I don't know, but that's got to be mostly on him. So with that being said, as for the fight, I would like to see. Bro, I would like to see is the one that fought John Molina. The one that was moving, that was using his footwork. I don't want to see the Broner stationary trying to do the shoulder roll like Floyd when he gets on the road. Let alone be in the middle of the ring. Use that, like we said, use that jab that Rau'shee Warren should have been using against an aggressive fighter. You got the speed. I know you got the talent to do so. Do it. Use your footwork. Use your speed. And do whatever you got to do. And hopefully, if you can get him out there with a stoppage, cool. If you can't, box him for the whole full 12 rounds and get that W. And make it impressive, too.
And then if you think about it, Müvment was able to, knock Great Granados down in their fight. He just couldn't seal the deal and got undisciplined, and shout out to Tavon. Müvment got knocked. Well, he got knocked. Yeah, that was a motherfucking Meldrick Taylor-like beating he took. He got his ass whooped.
And then called out Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, that was he took a vicious beating in that fight, man. Like, that was seriously on some Julio Cesar Chavez, Meldrick Taylor-like stuff to me. I don't think I got your prediction on the fight, 2K. Did you give us a pick? Or did you just...
I picked Adrian Broner. Yeah, it was contingent on the fact that if they got... Well, I mean, it's contingent on the fact they got that nigga moving. I don't see him knocking him out, but yeah, it would have to be a decision.
Okay. So we got that clear, and we'll move on to our next. Well, I guess I'll speak on it, really. I kind of think AB is in I won't say do or die situation, but he's definitely got to impress in this fight. I was surprised he actually picked this guy to fight. Dangerous guy. He's made even Felix Diaz look bad in the ring. Diaz barely beat him when they fought. So, obviously Granados is a tough-ass fighter. But I'm going to go with AB, man. I'm just seeing some kind of a different focus from him from what I've seen. And I don't know if it was fucking Floyd Mayweather playing the role and fucking doing all the goddamn talking at the press conference, that made me think that AB was being humble. But I'm going to go ahead and go on and say AB wins, UD, 12 rounds. I don't know what this means going forward for him with the weight class, though, because I actually was expecting him to fight fucking the winner of the Ndongo Ricky Burns fight at 140, after this fight if he won. But, with this being at 147, I don't know what that does for that fight happening. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick Broner, man, and that's going to take us into our UOE segment of the week. On this same day, February 12th in 2000, Zab Judah, he KO'd Ian Bergman for the vacant IBF 140 title. So big up to Zab Super Judah. Still active, still fighting, man. And I guess I'll pick the final blow, man. Not really that deep, man. I just want to say, we already got enough confusion with the major four sanctioning bodies. The WBF, the WBO, IBF.
IBO.
We don't need to include no motherfucking WBF or no IBO.
And the hate is real. The hate is real, man. The hate is real behind you, dog.
We do not need a fifth major fucking belt. Y'all stop fucking bigging this title up. Please. Please stop, man. I mean, please, man.
No, man.
We ain't big enough regional. We ain't big enough regional titles. We ain't doing no ABS like that. Of course, Claressa Shields, she's the only one that's getting that kind of love because it's her second fight. But we not bigging up that shit up no more, man. Stop it. Stop it. Get the shit right with the Major Four, man. Get the Major Four correct. Get the Major Four correct. That's what I need.
5.
That nigga Bernard does not agree with that final blow at all.
Told my motherfucking final blow. He fouled in the motherfucker, man.
Hey, 5.
Oh, man.
5, man. Yo, shout out to the IBO, man. So did they fool around and send me something in Facebook and say, yo, we want you to help us promote our company, whatever. I'm taking the job, dude. Fuck that.
I can't believe these cats is actually paying that damn sanction. What? Yeah, fighters, why are you paying this motherfucking sanctioning fee for that goddamn belt? Stop paying the sanctioning fee. Who the fuck are they?
I want to say something, though, about your final blow. Since your brackets holding that belt, I don't think you complaining about that. And she ain't over
there talking about this shit. She holding the other Major Four. That's what we worried about.
All of them. She's holding all of them. And
but look.
We worried about the Major Four, man. Ain't nobody caring about that goddamn IBO.
International
bowel movement.
Apologize to the IBO.
I will do no such, Bernard.
Vladimir Klitschko carried that belt around with him for every goddamn defense of his title, nigga. He had that shit. Every fucking fight where he's defending his title, fam, when he had that, I think it was like 22 straight title defenses. I can't remember, but it's second to Joe Louis. This nigga had the IBO attached every single time, fam. This shit was funny as fuck. I was like, why has he still got the IBO? Drop that bitch, man.
keep your money, son. Keep your motherfucking money. Keep your money, son. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth the fees, man.
But yeah. Rau'shee Warren lost it on Friday night. He lost the IBO title with the WBA. Man,
hold on. I got something for this right now, man. I know how I'm going to deal with this IBO shit. I know how I'm going to deal with this. I know how I'm going to deal with that. Hey, what's going on, Bernard? How you doing, man? Bernard, where you at, man?
You don't want to
answer. There, no? Because I put his ass on mute for that shit. We don't play that shit around here, man. I don't play.
Oh, shit.
We don't play that shit here. His ass is on mute for the rest of the show. And we about to bow out anyway, man. I'm going to give him a shout out, though. So big up to, Nard, Big Bogart from the Truth and Facts About Boxing, our boy Big Cool, the Colossal Boxing Talk, who's probably watching the season premiere of The Walking Dead.
Eating the latest snack cake that just came out. Twinkies. nigga eating the Twinkies 3D and shit. Fuck out of here.
Glitter. Got the glitter on the side of his mouth and everything. Just chill. Yeah. We got Chief K from the guys of Boxing Talk, and I am Twine the Divine Liberty of HoopJab.com and Rocky Mountain Boxing. Big up everybody, man. All of us supporters keep tuning in to the show. We got some guests coming in within over the next couple of weeks, man, that you'll definitely enjoy. So, man, keep tuning in, and until next week, peace out, y'all.